chairperson. Go around the room and introduce ourselves. Elizabeth.
I'm Elizabeth Whalen, commission member.
Dawn DeSorcy, staff.
Greg Roaring, commission member.
Jeff Dunscover, Alderman, District 4.
Lee Tao, commission member.
Jay Klingfors, staff.
Matt Decker, Mayor. Ron Rasmussen, Principal Lincoln, soon to be superintendent.
We'll have to deal with him next month.
Yep. Welcome to the team almost.
Oh,
Chris, walked in just in time to introduce yourself.
Ron, I did.
Get here
Yeah,
early.
Chris Bartek, commissioner.
It's Kevin, what was his name?
Bangman,
Bangman.
F-A-N-G-M-A-N, just like it sounds, I know it's hard to believe.
Great. So, I call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is to approve the May 13th, 2024 meeting minutes. Your wishes?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Brian, second by Whalen to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Guys have it. We're gonna go to item 2.5. I'm raking off the agenda here and I wanna turn the floor over to Jake with some exciting news to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna go with this item 2.5.
Okay.
I received a phone call from Legacy Foundation on Friday afternoon just about our zoo project. And they're looking to give us the full amount that we asked for the grant, so that's good news.
That is
Awesome.
good news.
Yeah.
Good job.
200,000 for the prairie dog, keep saying prairie dogs, river otter exhibit. We will be putting towards 180,000 of the Teskey fund for that. And then for the playground, 130,000. We're putting 30,000 of the park outlay. And then for Helen's house, it'd be 30,000 from them and 10,000 from Teskey fund. So,
Great.
Awesome.
yeah, good news.
Do you have an update on the prairie dog exhibit?
It's open and kids and families are enjoying it.
I heard they staged a break.
Yeah, first night. Got a call.
Yeah.
PD.
I think that should have warranted an update, an email to the commission. Kinda like when there's, vandalism at the skate park.
They, we caught them within a half an hour, but.
Got them all back in there?
Yeah.
You have video footage of that?
No, we don't. I guess they were like helping each other out, so.
They were climbing on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, so we talked to them. and
Chicken
they're-
run
they've
all
been
over.
fine since.
You talked to them?
Yeah.
Said, guys, no, listen.
Come on.
It's a good place to live.
It's in your
Come on.
contract.
Yeah, you gotta be here.
So,
So that's legit, that actually happened.
that actually happened, yeah.
I heard that story from
The
somebody.
first night.
The first night.
First night.
Oh, no.
A lady was watching on the outside of the zoo, by the bike path, and she was watching the whole thing. So,
Good thing
and
she saw
I got a
it.
call from PD. I was standing at first base coaching baseball. He's like, Jake, I've never thought I'd say this again, or before, but your prairie dogs just escaped. So we got them back.
But it was
in.
contained within the zoo then?
Yeah, it's just weird because you look at other exhibits, prairie, and their walls are like this high. And ours are like up to here. So either we got the smartest prairie dogs in the land.
Probably did.
But no, ever since then, it's been good.
Thank
Haven't
God.
fattened them up enough.
Yeah.
So
What do
with
you,
each other.
not to belabor the point, but what do you do to stop them from doing that?
We shoveled back all, they made a big mound in front, so we dug back everything and a couple feet, and they haven't done nothing since.
Oh, interesting. You have to lure them with some monkey biscuits or anything
Yeah,
like that?
not yet.
That'd be smarter than the prairie dogs, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
I've heard from a lot of people that they're fun to watch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They really enjoyed the exhibit, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the kids in the tubes and they come
Mhm.
right up to the edge of the tubes and the kids are
Mhm.
fascinated,
Yeah.
yeah, really good.
I did talk to Jake today, because we were actually there. They are really fun to watch. We went there over the weekend, and they told Jake there were some kids hanging from the glass, and so we're gonna put some signage up.
Yep.
Because that
Oh,
would be pretty. They were climbing on the glass, and so. And the parents were seemed to be not too upset about the fact that they were, so.
Shocking.
Of course, Holly let him have it though. My significant other let him, get off of there.
Yeah.
The parents just looked at her and they just kept walking him, like the kids finally followed him, but Holly told him to get up there. So anyway.
you didn't intervene, she did.
Oh, no,
Oh, okay.
she was, I wasn't actually at
Oh,
the thing, and
okay.
I saw her, she's, get off of there, and then we watched, and their parents were, but they were literally, they could have pulled the glass right off.
Yeah, wow.
They were big enough to. So, we need to put some signage up there. So, anyway, awesome news.
Yeah,
and
good news.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you,
good.
to the Legacy Foundation, that is fantastic.
We'll get the financial details sometime in July, so
Okay.
for review, and obviously council has to pass everything, because they have to pass everything.
Yeah,
for the
now they
testing
have to
fund.
pass everything.
Yep.
We're just advisory.
Yep.
It wasn't official, was it? Or was it?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So I don't know what we're doing here.
It's not official.
Wasn't it official? You guys voted on it?
No, we didn't.
No,
No,
no, we didn't vote on that.
no.
I think it was to
You're not
rewrite
advisory.
the,
It's not advisory.
It wasn't, we didn't vote on that, we discussed it.
Yeah, we're good, move on.
There was never a vote taken on that.
We'll talk more about it.
Okay,
But it's-
okay,
yeah, it's
I
not
must have been
advisory.
somewhere else, cause I thought for sure when I was listening that it was approved. Okay,
Yeah.
It wasn't up for a vote.
okay.
Oh, it was just a discussion item. Okay, item 3 is discuss the updated bid for the pickleball project at Mead Park.
So in front of you, there is, Tim ran some numbers for us. We are over a little bit on the cost estimates. We do have a grant that we've been saving for park improvements of, on the bottom left there, for 18,000. That would make up the difference of what we're over. Obviously, when you put projects together, we put this together last fall, and when the numbers come in, almost 7 months later, prices do go up, so, we'll be working on adjusting that, and we can see, because we can use that League of Wisconsin Rapids, the recreation grant for 18,000 to cover what it's over the $18,700, or we could take away one shade structure over at the pickleball court, so, still waiting for park and, some numbers from a vendor for the shade structure, like what one would cost instead of 2, so.
So this is increased city costs.
Yes.
This isn't increased real costs.
No.
Right.
Then at the bottom it shows what we have left in for the park outlay, 129,000. That's in there.
What are you looking at, Jake?
Oh, did you
Oh,
not get
Jason?
one? I'm sorry. I might not have to, I've only printed 11 of those, so here.
Pass it down.
I think he has one.
Yep,
already
he's got
now,
one.
so.
And then we're still waiting just from the company to get back to us on when they would be starting. So,
Any further discussion on that item? Moving to item 4, which is a revision of the no mow May policy.
Yeah, so I just printed off some GIS maps. This year, obviously, it was kind of an abnormal May with the amount of rain that we got. Everyone knows that we had to cut grass all the time, so this made kind of our parks, Robinson Park and Sandlot, look kind of horrendous with the long grass. And to me, you know, especially Robinson Park, we got Assumption plays there. We have different communities that come to the park once, twice a week, and when they get there, they see grass that's 3 feet high. It just kind of looks bad in my eyes. So I printed off, I think Robinson Park's on page 3. Just an area maybe for next year that we could talk about, just having the normal May and cut everything else. But I wanted to-
So in the blue would be what you would leave
That's
and-
Woods Grove.
Right, but in.
Yep, the
on
blue
all-
would be what we would leave, correct.
Okay.
Yep. and we put signage around there. Same thing with Sandlot, we get a lot of complaints, phone calls. You know, cause there are people that rent the shelters and stuff in the month of May.
Sure.
We actually ended up having to refund
I think
two groups that were pretty upset about it.
Yeah.
Because we weren't mowing around the shelter?
We did, but
Okay.
they still weren't happy about it.
The grass was still pretty tall in
Yeah.
some places.
Okay.
Usually made around, 2 laps with the big mowers around, but people still were not
Mhm.
satisfied on how the park looks. So I suggested, we've never had this in the no mow May category for a park, would be Woods Grove on 16th Street and Apricot. You know, if we did a little chunk there, not cutting the grass there for the month of May, to make up what we don't cut now. And then Sandlot would be one cut in between all those pine trees on the west side of the park, the Sampson side.
What about, you know, 'cause I can see, I can see that section of Robinson being fine to leave. I
Mhm.
mean, that's a very unused spot, and
Yep.
it's, you know, kinda dips down there, is kind of, uneven if I remember right.
Right, yep, yeah, it's
And
pretty
that, so
shallow
that's
there.
pretty easy to leave. And that so one thing that I've seen sometimes with no mow May places is that they actually, they have the taller grass, but they actually mow like a path.
Oh, okay.
And that through, like, as if, you know, people wanted to walk their dogs,
Mhm.
like, under the trees or something like that, that might, you know, alleviate some of the complaints, if there was something like that. I don't know if that's worth, you know, considering and stuff. I mean, I hate to see, you know, complaints and stuff, and I wonder, you know, I don't know at all, you know, how much it's used over here on Apricot Street, you know, over there, what's Grove again? I can't remember the name. of
Woods
this
Grove.
one. Woods Grove.
Yeah, Woods Grove.
Have you been getting any complaints about the no mow May thing, or
Yeah, we got
generally
'em all.
accepted?
We got them all in the month of May, people are calling about it.
Really?
Mostly
Just-
around the shelters.
Yeah,
Yes.
shelter,
Yeah.
but disc
I think-
golf players were losing disc at Robinson Park and.
Sure.
Okay.
like that. But again,
Yeah, I
it was
think they're
a
used.
very abnormal month. I mean, last year, I don't think it was an issue because we didn't get a lot of rain last May. So I know it kind of varies, but I just want to bring it up to everyone's
Sure,
attention. that-
sure.
I think last year was pretty rough too, cause our neighbor did no mow May, and he said, no mow May. Cause he was bagging every two swipes with the lawnmower.
Sure,
So,
and everybody does it different. I mean, no mow May is, you know, really, it's about educating people about, gee, how much lawn
Right.
do you really need? And, you know, can
Right.
we, you know, leave something for the pollinators, at that time of year is critical, but also kind of hoping that you kind of snowball that into, gosh, you know, maybe I could, you know, live without, you know, an acre of, you know, lawn to mow and
Mhm.
stuff, and
Right.
convert that hopefully to something, you know, a little more pollinator friendly. What about the park over off of Spring Street? I mean,
Oh, Popper Springs.
yeah, I mean, that big hill there in the summer, we're mowing that, aren't we? I
Yes,
mean,
we do.
yeah.
Yep, yep.
And I never see anyone on the south side of that park. I mean,
Gosh,
on the,
closer to spring.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that might be a little bit more of a
Mhm.
friendlier place to leave it go.
Yeah.
Have we had, there's a question over here too, but have we talked about no mow May and Park and Rec Commission in the past? Cause in
Last-
7 years, I don't remember talking about it.
I don't think we have.
I don't think so either.
Was it,
Okay.
was it council?
It could've been
Had to be.
council.
Might have been,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
cause I have a very strong opinion on it that's completely inconsequential at this point,
Mhm.
which it's neither here nor there, to be honest with you. It was odd that it's on here, cause I don't recall ever
Oh,
talking
really?
about it in the last 7 years,
Okay.
as being a Park and Rec driven thing.
I thought we talked
Aren't you
about
just
it.
talking about the parks though that
Yeah.
you're not mowing?
Yeah.
Right.
Did we not mow parks though, in the past? No,
Yeah.
other years.
We didn't mow, I think, was it Robinson Park in Salem? That was the first time we did mow it for the month of May.
This year?
Yes.
Okay, that's kinda what I thought.
Yep.
Cause I remember the debacle on the whole, hill by
Expressway.
the expressway,
Yeah.
and people losing their mind over that
Yeah.
because of how hard it is to mow, but still decided to mow it after all.
Yep.
Anyway,
We've been mowing that, I think, 4 or
sorry,
5
there's a
years.
question back here.
Suggestion. In cities I've been at before, what they've done is they've designated small areas in parks and they've made them like prairie plants and or flowers. And then the other place, I think that was in Menasha, they had a thing where they had a citywide initiative where they said plant for the pollinators. They made it a big campaign and people would just make small gardens in their own properties and then you have it spread out throughout the city. Then you don't have to have this problem because then your public parks are functional. But yet you still have a prairie thing where people can walk through it and the pollinators are taken care of, not just in Maine, but throughout the entire growing season. It's a suggestion.
Yeah.
We did a drive, last year about
Mhm.
different locations for making
Right.
those areas.
Yeah, and, there's some, monetary outlay. You can't just stop mowing,
Right.
turf grass and expect it to turn into, a pollinator-friendly prairie. That's why we have some of the setback and problems with Butterfly Hill and stuff is because it really wasn't properly, started and stuff. So we're kind of trying to play catch-up against the turf grass that's in there.
Is there talk at the council of maybe not doing no mow May anymore, or changes in that regard, or no?
We're
Good
getting
organic.
people right now calling that are asking for it to be put on the council agenda.
Oh.
Not happy with it.
It becomes, here, it's totally inconsequential, but one person's opinion, it becomes an excuse not to mow your frickin' lawn.
Yeah, well,
What it
that
comes down to.
that is a problem in my district, that's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
And I think it's the last year, when do we start enforcing in June? Is it a week we give them
Yeah.
Take them that long just to cut it, so yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying, there was, the way I recall it, when we had talked, whether it be council or just in separate meetings, that it was a week after was what people had, the grace
Yeah.
period to,
Yeah. I think it
the
was
first week
10th.
of June,
Yeah.
or maybe the 10th, you're right.
Yeah, I
so.
think it's the 8th or the 10th
But,
that they were
yeah,
requiring of it, so.
today's the 10th, and there's
Yeah.
some pretty long
I
grass,
agree.
just on the way here I saw.
I agree.
Make it
Yeah,
a motion,
yeah.
sir.
And,
Well, some people
we
do
have,
normal
and
June,
we
July,
have
August.
the ordinance, that's the whole point, is that the ordinance will kick in after that point, and they will be visited by the, by the code enforcement and said, hey, you've gotta mow your lawn. So, that's the wording on the, ordinance.
Does, I think you were just talking about this, does long grass create a pound, that doesn't really work, right?
Actually, there's a lot of different species of, bees and beetles and ants and that actually do utilize, grass pollen, and they actually go to grasses and
Okay.
stuff. It's not obviously as ideal as, having, native pollinator plants and stuff, but, we've changed the environment a lot, to live here and stuff, and, I brought, some of my stuff about, cause I have displays at the library for monarch and pollinator encouragement, which I'm the project head, for selecting plants to support pollinators and solving your pest pollinator, So yeah, it's such a new thing for our city, I think. This is the third year? Yeah, and so I think, I'm still educating people constantly. Last year, every single one of the brochures that we provided were taken from the library. I was just like, and that this year, we're still getting people, coming and trying to, find out information and stuff, but I don't, there's not a lot of great other places to educate people about, and I've tried to get them, to realize that, hey, you don't have to let your, grass grow to 4 feet, There's some change in the whole idea about no mow May and that, and, some people are saying, what you really want is a bee-friendly, lawn, and there's actually some, turf, seeds that you can get that Minnesota has developed. And then there's the point of, cutting in thirds, like if it gets up, cause you can only raise your mower so high and that, and you really only wanna cut off about a third at a time when you're cutting the grass to keep it healthy and stuff, so. I'm like a no mow May person, but I cut my grass, when it got, too tall, and that because I knew that I wouldn't be able to, have it, stay good, because if you just end up cutting it like right to the ground, you just ended up with dead grass mostly afterwards. It's really harder for it to come back, so. And I see that with the parks too and stuff, if we can, kind of do it in stages. And, I don't want it to be there where we have this set and we can't do anything different. I think it is totally dependent on the weather, how much rain we get. If it starts getting up, past 2 feet, I think we should trim off the top and stuff, and do it in that, rule of thirds and stuff, so. It would probably end up being healthier and better for it, so.
I thought when this whole thing began that people had to come into the city to get a no mow May sign or something, right?
They're still up there, yeah.
But some of the lawns don't have the sign on it.
That changed the second year.
Okay.
The first year,
Yeah.
they did have to register, and it got to be so much work because we had so many people in that who wanted to do it, and Emily was kind of run off her feet with keeping up with that they just said, the heck with it, we won't do the registration the next year, which kind of eliminated us having any set numbers. And and that was actually I kind of felt like if they did register, that would be a good time to give them more information. Though the website, the website that Emily has on the city page is amazing. She did a great job. That's got a lot of really good education, on there and stuff. And she really does say, if there's no set way to do it, you do how it works for you.
Because I think it worked well that first year, but then after the fact, when you don't register anymore, everybody's just looking at my neighbor's lawn and my neighbor's not doing it, so I'm not doing it, and then
Yeah.
it just, snowballs.
Well, yeah, if
And-
the registration
Yeah.
did give, it was actually a reason.
Yeah.
So the people that Craig just mentioned that are saying, screw it, I don't have to mow my
Yeah.
lawn this month.
Yeah.
Well, you're
If
always
they don't
gonna have
register.
that. Yeah, I think you're always gonna have some of that where
Well,
people just take
if you
advantage.
register for
Yeah.
it, then
you can.
you
Yeah.
could.
Right.
Because then they would have the sign up, and then walking past or going past, you would
It does educate
understand.
people, yeah, why you're doing it.
And then they, once they register, then they would get the information. That would
Right.
help out. Now it's just monkey see, monkey do, right?
Yeah, right, yeah, but that's really a council thing and not
Yeah.
Park and Rec, but still.
Yeah.
I think that, it's, it's definitely something there. I think I'm more irritated about the noxious weeds
Yeah.
that have come up in some, like around, I don't know that, No Mow May, has actually helped with that. I think, Bill Rudd has just kind of stopped doing anything with their, with their landscaping, and they've got just a ton of thistle, huge thistles coming up all around their buildings and in their landscaping. And that seed is just going to, go everywhere else, and, I've seen that, and so I think,
I think you get more bang for your buck if you do identify areas that you're gonna replant as native prairie and utilize that approach way more than just letting people not mow the lawn. Again, in my opinion, completely
agree with that.
inconsequential.
yeah.
I
And
would
if you
start
have-
that conversation.
Oh, boy. Well, we actually, do you mind if I mention the zoo? And that, cause, we kind of were talking about behind the prairie dog exhibit, and that is kind of that, had that old, it had some kind of plantings back in there, like a Japanesey kind of garden, had some, but it really hasn't been maintained. And we talked about, well, we've got these prairie dogs, hint, hint, and that can we turn that space behind it between the fence, though that way people won't be able to keep an eye on our escaping prairie dogs. And leaving a space for people to walk, but having it planted with like grasses and flowers and forbs and that sort of thing, and starting that and stuff, so. What, like 700 square foot you said, probably, but, so, and we could have some, you know, some signage there to educate people and stuff, and, so.
You can talk more outside of here.
Yeah.
So we're not looking for any, are we looking for any revision?
No, just.
Actions?
I don't think any
I
action
like the
needs to be.
designated areas.
Designated areas instead of.
Yeah, but not just letting what's sitting there
Right.
grow
Right.
uncontrollably.
You gotta keep the parks and the shelters looking nice for the people that have their parties and whatnot.
Right, a lot of times if they're renting that, they're looking for some green space.
Yeah.
You know, that's the point, play games or whatever. The
Right,
reason they're doing
yeah.
that is because their yard must not be big enough or something like
Right.
that.
That was
No
one of the
man at
complaints we
home.
got.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Maybe they didn't cut their grass at home.
That's, yeah, well, and it's hard to play bags, you know?
Yeah.
Makes it tough on cornhole.
All right, so, moving on to item 5, which is audit of the bills, and I actually did take a look at them. I did have one question. Jake, this seems like a big number, the tree care, the 10,000
That's,
plus.
That's like a pass-through.
yeah,
We
it's the
sold
community
trees.
tree, so we got all that money back.
Oh, okay, gotcha, okay.
We just had to pay for them right away, and then as people pay, we pick up their trees.
Okay.
everything went back in
Gotcha.
the account.
Okay,
So,
so.
can we make $2 a tree or something like that?
I don't know. Sue would
Not
know
that it was
for sure.
thousands,
We sold a lot of them.
$200. Yeah.
That's awesome.
More than I think
It
Sue
was
had
a
hoped.
record, yeah.
Yeah.
Is the aquatic center ready to open up?
Is it ready to open? It's open.
It's open.
Oh, it is open?
Friday.
I went by there and I didn't see the fountains going and whatnot.
Today?
Yeah,
It's open.
maybe I didn't look good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
They were running this morning.
Maybe it was early.
You can't miss the aquatic center.
It's
I
running.
know, I drove by like 4 times today. I didn't even notice.
They were on
I
at
looked
like
purposefully this morning.
7:15 or something this morning. I was
Really?
over there. Yeah.
Because when I was
My
at
apologies.
12:30, it was
You need to
60
get out.
people.
Get out of the car.
Go there and inspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it opened last Friday, just obviously with the weather, it's been lower numbers, so
Yeah, a little chilly.
we'll get there.
It's warm
Good
now.
practice for the staff.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Quieter.
new staff, so.
Let's have some nice hot days coming up.
Mhm. It'll fill up.
Practice day was fun again.
Yes. You did a good job on practice day. You guys both did.
I didn't, Holly snuck in booze, that was good.
Yeah, she did. You had a bleeding leg.
Oh, yeah, I had a, we were
Elizabeth
supposed to have
was
Band-Aids, so I had a
eating where
Band-Aid
she
on the
was-
back of my leg.
Yeah, oh, that was-
with-
yeah.
with- I had a Band-Aid on the back of my leg and food
Blood.
coloring running all the way down
Yes.
below it, and I started walking in the pool, and finally somebody caught it, but it's like, I don't think you're supposed to go in the pool with
Ugh.
that blood and Band-Aid, and I'm, oh, sorry.
I kept going out of bounds.
Yep, Elizabeth was sneaking under the ropes.
Yeah.
So that wasn't as good as a couple of years ago when I pretended to be drunk in there and wouldn't get
That
out.
was pretty funny.
They were trying to kick me out.
Oh, God.
We should have had footage of that. That was pretty classic.
You got enough staff?
We're actually gonna offer a lifeguarding class starting on Monday. Because we have 2 lifeguards that were gonna be almost full-time for us, and they've decided they're not working now, so, we're short a couple of guards, yeah. So, if you know anyone, starting Monday for lifeguarding class.
It's hard to get lifeguards.
It is hard to get lifeguards.
We've been fortunate the past 4 years, so.
And the ones that we have wanna work, I mean, they work elsewhere also, and they're in sports and that sort of thing, so it's tough. But they're happy to be working for us as well, it's just tough on, kinda restricts their hours.
Well, I need a motion to approve the bills.
I'll make a motion for the bills.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, who seconded?
Aye.
You did, okay.
Moving on to staff reports. Who's first?
Well, we just talked about this, but the Aquatic Center opened on Friday. It was too cool to open on Thursday as we had planned on. So we basically made the call on Wednesday because the predicted low was, or the high temperature was like 62 or something, I don't know. It was cold. So we opened on Friday. It was still not really hot, and even over the weekend we opened later on Saturday. I think we opened at 2 o'clock because it rained in the morning. So it wasn't super busy, but it was good practice for the staff. The guards got to practice rotations, the admissions concessions could work on the registers and that sort of thing. And staff training day went well. I would say it was cut off a little bit early due to the rain, but we got an hour and a half in. And I was going to mention that some of our commissioners did come in and break rules. We have, also the lifeguarding class. I do have that out on Facebook. If anybody's interested, let me know. Right now I've got 3 people interested. I need 5 to have a class. I have heard that there are a couple more that might be interested in taking it, so we'll be starting that on Monday, but there is some pre-work to be done, so if anybody's interested, they should contact me ASAP for that. T-ball and coach pitch start on Wednesday. We have 111 kids signed up for T-ball and 38 for pitch. Both of those numbers are up from last year. The hats were donated by the Rafters, so we appreciate that. They look really nice. Sponsorship from Ocean Spray also on that. They look really great. So we've got those all distributed to the coaches, and we're set to start on Wednesday.
You got enough coaches and everything?
We have enough
Good.
coaches now. We're still having a tough time finding the one employee to help set out all the stuff on for T-ball. But I think we've got this week covered, but then going forward we have to find somebody fast, so we'll see. We've got swim lessons. Those will be starting on Monday at the Aquatic Center. Almost every class is full. We might have to do a little bit of shifting around. There's a couple classes that are a little bit upper level classes that don't have a lot of kids signed up for, so we may have to shift around and make up for some of the waiting lists in the other classes. And then I've got a couple of instructors that are willing to offer private lessons as well. So once we get kind of up and going with the lessons, we'll get the word out on some of the private lessons that we can offer. Today we had the first payroll for the aquatic staff, and we started with a new payroll system. It's the same one that the employees use, it's the full-time city employees use. But we're working, it's not bad. I think it'll be really nice once it's all up and running, but today was a little tough because, well, first of all, my computer was down until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So that made it challenging, but we got everything through, and I think in the end it's gonna be really nice to use that system instead. So the kids are all entering their own time instead of us having to enter everything. And then the swim club, I believe we had 28 kids signed up for that as of this morning. And then when I was leaving to come over here, we had five sign up. And practices start tonight, so we've got like 33 kids signed up for swim club for the summer. So that is what I have.
Jake?
Yeah, building and maintenance staff, like I said earlier, just a lot of grass cutting in the month of May, getting the zoo ready for opening, the aquatic center, getting that ready for opening. We did have hail damage that was altered into our insurance company for all the canopies at the aquatic center. I think there was 12 of them that, they got a bunch of like dime size holes through them, so those will get replaced. A couple water features got it, and then fire station 1 will get half of a new roof. So yeah, just busy on keeping everything up.
Can we use those
Yeah.
shade cloths that are torn for other places?
Um,
Even if they have little holes in them, like
probably,
just
yeah.
for shade?
Yep, so that's another thing we might be taking over to the pickleball course.
That's what I was just wondering, yeah.
They'll save us a lot of money.
And we could even use them at like other
Mhm.
places at the zoo
Dog
or
park
something
maybe?
like
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
dog park, yeah, good idea.
Yeah. So I mean, they're still fine. just-
Right, yeah, so we just toss it on.
Right. And,
Okay.
yeah, we won't toss them, so.
Good.
You need special stuff to hold them up though?
I have to check, cause they're all like engineered, you
Yeah.
know, so I'd probably have to look into that.
Cause they're like odd dimensions, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like a pizza slice, kinda, yeah. So that would alleviate some expenditures at the meat pickleball, so,
Okay.
so yeah, we're looking into that.
What's the life of those anyway, do you know? I mean,
Well, we
barring
take them
hail.
down every year, so.
It should last for quite a while, I
Like,
would
I
think.
thought I read 10 to 15,
Okay.
so we're on year 5, so, yeah. I know some places leave them up all year, which is weird. It doesn't, we got a system down, it takes us, I think, a day to take them down and a day to put them up, so.
The sun is what kills them.
Yeah,
They sat there and took the sun all winter, that makes no sense.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question on the dog park.
Mhm.
Are there rules on there? I haven't been there, but I've heard a few complaints that when they take their dogs there, that kids running around.
Yep.
And then, not only that, but sometimes they notice some owners don't pick up the waste after.
Yeah, so we got more signage up for the waste picking up. It's such a big park, and it is hard to keep an eye on your dog, but they're supposed to see when they're, you know, doing their business. And then with the kids, we have addressed that twice. And since the last time we addressed it, we haven't heard nothing. That's probably a month and a half ago, like that. So, like, we found the family that did it, and we kind of put a kibosh to it. So, they just kind of treated it as like it was a park, like a family park. And
We've tried to post on Facebook when we get complaints about
Yeah.
not picking up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I think it's common in a lot of parks.
The biggest issue is the kids, because
Yes.
they just go after dogs, and the dogs, you don't know those dogs.
Yeah, then it's gonna be the dog's fault.
Yeah,
Right.
and
The
that's
dog
what,
thinks they're playing.
that's one of
whatever.
the biggest complaints that I've heard from the
Yeah.
community is.
Yeah, there's certain levels of conduct for living in a community.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we've lost along the way.
It's a
Yeah.
dog park, not a
You
kid's
can
park.
just do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know, there's expectations around being in a civil society.
Just like the people hanging from the.
Controlling your
from
own
the thing,
kids,
parents
like being
watching.
respectful of others, using the property, yep. Yeah, it's just, it's shocking that this is where we are. I mean, if you forget to occasionally pick up a dog turd, I get it, but for the love of God. That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only reason that I can think of.
Yeah.
Anything else then? And you're still here, Craig, through the end of next month, right?
Nope, the end of this month. I'm
Oh.
done on the 28th.
Oh, yeah, okay, so this is,
Yep.
so then,
Unless you change the ordinance, you gotta deal with Ron.
okay, so,
Can I ask a
Ron will,
question?
go ahead.
Oh, I just, a question. Did we, is there, I noticed that there, I was wondering about that, what do you call it, pitch?
Oh yeah, we're still working on some details.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been in talk with the family, they're looking at maybe donating more funds for that too,
Oh.
so.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Even better.
Yep.
Oh, the
Okay.
batting cages?
The batting cages,
Oh.
thank you. I couldn't come up with the right word. Okay.
Okay, well, thank Craig for
Yeah,
serving us
thanks,
on
Craig.
board for
Good
so
luck.
long. and-
Appreciate it, thank you.
and,
It's been fun.
We'll run through the gauntlet next week, next month.
All right.
So Craig, we got you something so you don't forget us.
Well, that's lovely, thank you.
Yes.
Hopefully it's monkey biscuits.
You'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep you all waiting. Yes! It
I
is
mean,
a
it's just
bag
the
for monkey
packaging.
biscuit. It's a legitimate thing.
I didn't believe that, so it was a running joke.
Oh, yeah.
It's a complete life cycle diet for all old world primates. So that probably includes school administrators too.
Did you sneak that in at like every meeting you went to? You tried to
Yeah, I
find a
tried my
way to-
best, yeah. For a while it was Z-Dog.
Yeah.
Yes,
If you remember.
yes.
Oh, and some
This
molasses,
molasses, I thought you
perfect.
needed some clearance molasses.
That was a great, yeah,
Yes.
that's fantastic. One of your 8 or 10?
I think it was 7.
7?
Yeah, now we're
Yeah.
on to 6.
Perfect. $1.69 for that bad
See,
boy.
it was a deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Right.
I didn't see
There's something
that
else in there.
$1.69 on the audit of the bills.
That was mine from home. There's one more thing in there.
Oh, there is?
Well, yeah.
I thought it was just stuff in the bottom to protect my
My
Culver's
picture,
molasses
yeah.
jar.
No, this one was probably the most,
Okay, well,
most
I'm gonna have to
used out
put
of
my pen
everything.
away. Oh, fantastic. This is a real shirt that they have.
It is.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic.
We're gonna expect you to
Thank
wear
you
that.
so much. Oh, thank
Often.
I absolutely will. Yeah. Maybe I'll wear it to the budget hearing for the school district. I mean, not much can happen if you know what I'm saying. Well, thank you. That's awesome.
We'll miss you, Craig.
You're welcome.
Good job, Don.
It was Jake too.
Great.
It was from both of us.
Good
Nice.
stuff.
Thanks, everybody. Motion to adjourn then?
I will make that motion.
Okay. Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, unanimous.